Hey guys, it's Jackie with Intoxicating Arts, and today I wanted to show you some cards that I actually made last weekend, and I had some time to actually get some crafting in, so I had a lot of fun. I made 4 different cards, and 3 of them are using Lawn Fawn stamps, and 1 of them even uses Lawn Fawn paper. So this was actually the first one that I made, and I'm not 100% thrilled with how it came out, just for a few reasons. First of all, I didn't realize how you were supposed to stamp the leaves on the tree, and I did it wrong, and I ended up stamping it twice. So then I watched one of Lawn Fawn's videos, and I found out the correct way that I should have stamped that. So I'll show you the other card where I did it correct. This card actually uses 3 different Lawn Fawn stamp sets and then 1 stamp set that's not Lawn Fawn, which is these little tombstones right here are from just a stamp that I had in my stash from last year, and I just felt like they kind of worked good with the hill. And so speaking of that hill, it's actually this little stamp that is in, I can't remember what the set is called because I sold out of them, but it's the one that had like the beach scene and like the little crab in it. I think it might be Life is Good, but I'm not sure if that's the correct one. The tree with the leaves is from the Sweater Weather stamp set, which I do have these in stock available for sale. And it comes with the bare tree that you can add whatever you want onto there. And pretty much as far as like stamping the leaves, you really just have to pick it up the way that it's in the set and it will fit on there perfectly. The way they made it was for the leaves to not perfectly go on all of the branches, so I think that's kind of what confused me. And because I got a demo set, this wasn't in there that way, it was turned, so I think that's kind of what threw me off. And I also used the extra little leaves to kind of make it filled in a little more because like I said, I stamped it kind of funny. And then the other stamp set that I used is called Spooktacular, and I also have this one available for sale. I used a little cat from there. They have a Perfect Halloween, and then on this one I tried to stamp some of the stars, but you can't really see them just because I probably should have embossed them, and I was trying to just do it with a pigment ink, so it didn't come out that awesome. I ended up using distress markers on the cat, and what did that come from? On the cat and the hills, and then for the background I sponged on some distress inks. I can't remember the colors, but I can tell you it's probably 3 or 4 different colors. And in this one I was trying to make it look like there was like, the sun right there, so I was trying to make it a little brighter, but it just ended up saturating it more and making it kind of more dark right there. I also had some bleeding going on because I was not using watercolor paper, so I kind of learned my lesson and I went out and bought some watercolor paper, which I haven't had a chance to use yet. So I always, thought, oh, I don't need watercolor paper, but I think that's probably why I got some bleeding and some weird things going on. So I have not done an inside for that card yet. I'm not really sure what I'm going to put in there. So I really like that scene that I made, but I didn't like how it came out, so I decided to do it again. And this was my second go at it, and I used totally different things this time. This card did require some masking, and I cut the little cat out of a post-it note, and that seemed to work pretty well for both of them. And then I actually tried using some parchment paper to do the hills, and that pretty much worked, except for the tape doesn't really want to stick to it, and that kind of makes it a little difficult, but it did work. So I do want to get some of that masking tape stuff that they have. The way that I did this background was actually with my Spectrum Noir markers, and I used my distress marker spritzer, but I will tell you that they don't fit in here, which was a little disappointing for me because I have so many Spectrum Noir markers that I rarely use. So I was excited thinking that I could, you know, put them in here and that I would actually get some use out of them, but it is too big. It won't fit in there. So I had to basically sit there and try to hold the marker at the right angle and squirt it, which took a lot of work, and a lot of times you wouldn't squirt it properly, and so it took quite a bit of time to get that background down. But I like how it came out. I think it looks, you know, airbrushed and pretty cool. And since I didn't like how the hills came out when I used the distress markers, because I don't think I really did that technique proper, I decided to just sponge it on this time, and I think that looks much better. And again, with the tree, I actually stamped the leaves on there properly this time, so you can see what it actually should look like if you do it properly. They're just kind of, they're not really exactly on all of the branches, but I think that's obviously what they wanted. And by they, I mean Lawn Fawn. And then I thought it was really cool that they provided some extra little leaves and like an acorn in there. So I just kind of made it look like they were falling down, a little pile and a acorn down there. Flicked in some extra like little grass, especially because this stamp is meant to be sand, but obviously with using color and adding a little extra, you can make it whatever you want. I used, this was from a Spellbinders die. And so I did another one and I used it as a mask. And so I stamped in there. So it's just a one layer card. And then I used the Spectrum Noir markers on the cat. And I didn't position this cat quite properly because he's kind of floating. So I tried to make like this little bushy, grassy area because I did that one better. He's not floating quite as much. But so there's my second attempt at that card. I do like this one, actually. And then my third Lawn Fawn card that I made is a thank you card. This was very simple, very quick to make, and it just kind of is one of those cards that put itself together. I was going through the paper that Lawn Fawn has. This is all Lawn Fawn paper on here, all three of them. And they have these really cute apples. And I owe my grandma a thank you card for some birthday money, so I thought that was just perfect for her. And then the thanks so much stamp is actually from a stamp set that I do not have. It I can't remember which one it is, but I think it's the one that has, oh, it's also the one that has this tag. So that's actually a stamp, and then I embossed it and I cut it out. I believe there is a die for that, but I just cut it out. And I think it might be the one. No, it's not. There's another stamp set that has Argyle and stuff, but it's not from that one. And then just a brad, some baker's twine, and then the inside of it, this is again some Lawn Fawn paper. The rest of the paper doesn't have these little hearts on it, so once you use them, the rest of it is just lines. And this little stamp right here was from the Dollars Michael bin, but I added the hearts that are from the, I think it might be from the Sweater Weather set because there's a heart in there, but I'm not sure because there's hearts in a bunch of different Lawn Fawn sets, but I'm pretty sure it is from that one. So that's the inside of that card. Like I said, this one was super simple, really easy to make, and I know she'll love it because her whole kitchen is done in apples, and she's a retired teacher, so she'll love that. And my last card that I made is not using Lawn Fawn stamps, except for I did end up using a few of them. This is the Simon Says Stamp Ice Cream Dream stamp set. This was my birthday present to myself because I just thought it was so adorable. And it does have some faces in there, but I don't think I ended up using any of the faces that came in there because Lawn Fawn has some awesome faces. So all of these are actually Lawn Fawn faces because I thought it was perfect to have this guy with his face because he got a bite taken out of him. And they didn't have a face like that in there. They just had a winky face and the smiley face. And I just think the faces that Lawn Fawn makes are a lot better than these. These are really they're just not very thick and they're really small, so I gave them Lawn Fawn faces. And there's also the polka dots from that stamp set were stamped on a Spellbinders die, and then that's just corner chomped. And this paper is a My Mind's Eye paper. It's called The Sweetest Thing, so I thought that was kind of perfect for like an ice cream theme. And I was going to do that one. I ended up stamping in here a couple different times because I wanted to, like, I embossed that. I wanted to originally use that, and I didn't feel like you could really read that part of it very well, so I just left it in there, and then I tried stamping up there, and I like way over inked, so I just totally messed it up. So I ended up just doing it on a plain white piece of paper and then inking around it. And then I punched out a ton of the little like token looking things, and I just kind of like, I glue dotted a bunch of them. I think I just like double stacked up, glue dots on a bunch of them so they would be dimensional. And I really like using glue dots because I found out you can use the Aleene's Tack It over and over and put it on parchment paper and let it dry, and you'll end up with glue dots. So I'm just going to show you. I have glue dots and glue lines galore, and they're really, really sticky. And so I really like them, and I wish I would have put it on something else, because now these are just kind of like laying out, getting dust on them. But I'll just put another piece of parchment paper on top. So it does work with parchment paper. I don't know about wax paper. And then on the inside of this, these guys, I use Distress markers on these ones, and then this one was Spectrum Noir. The inside of it just says, I love you more than ice cream. That's a lot. And that actually, that stamp is just one long thing, so obviously you can just not ink up that part and then do it separate like that. I just felt like it was kind of really long and it needed to be broken up a little bit as far as like how I would be saying it or whatever. So anyways, there are the cards that I made. I'm sorry this video ended up being so long. I was not expecting that at all. I'm just going to show them all to you again. Oh yeah, there's nothing inside of those. I gotta figure out what I want to do in those. Okay, so there they are. I'm going to be making another video pretty soon showing some new wood laser cuts that I have posted for sale, so I hope you'll stick around and check that out. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye!